And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be seen or taken as a signal to buy or to sell. But as we normally do, we look at the crypto bubbles. And we can see we're currently sitting at $108.55, down 2 ranks to 64, market cap of $1.58 billion with a 24-hour volume of $15 million. So it's looking green in the market. Currently up 0.5% in the hour, up 0.5% in the day, down 11.8% in the week. But for me, that means nothing. There's so much cooking in the background, and sometimes we have to have a little peek behind those closed doors. But first, we look at the chart, and we can see here on the 4 hourly chart for Quant, it's sort of in that middle zone. We've got a fair value gap just here at 105, and we've got this order block at around $100, the stable coin. $100, but we could also see a climb upwards given some more volume and a little bit of news. Obviously we're just cruising at the moment, as we have been for the last how long, many years. But we take a look over here at the exchange reserves, currently just sitting over that 200,000 mark on the spot exchange. But if we go over to the all exchange, which includes the derivatives, we're still sitting around 1.23 million on there. The lowest we've seen is 1.215 million. But we're going in the right direction. We're seeing that drop, and we've seen that drop over the years. Hopefully we'll start to see that as time goes on, as we start pushing out, because we aren't looking that far into the future with regulations, because we know Quant is regulated to the high heavens. Now, so we go over here. I see yesterday we've had a flurry of new texts in 3 wallets, 3 transactions from CB to private wallets. We can see 735 Quant, 755 Quant, and 1617 Quant. And these were all within the last 2 weeks. And we can see here the transactions going through. So slowly accumulating. These are probably, in my opinion, obviously not financial advice, probably licensed wallets, where they don't hold any gas or anything other than just Quant. So therefore, that tells me they're not looking to move them anytime soon. Now, I'm seeing a lot of wallets now appear, partly maybe because there are new licenses that are coming about for maybe the new products that Quant is producing, and they are literally pushing out lots of new products for these institutional organizations. So we more so move over here, and I want to remind people where we're at. And I done this little homage to Quant a while back, and this always puts hairs on the back of my neck. And this is Mr. Quant. Have a listen to this.
We've solved interoperability at scale, and the background to money is a 20-year career in cybersecurity. I ran the payment infrastructure as the Chief Security Officer for the Bank of England, so keeping all the money safe across all the payment systems and the payment rails. And now we're also company guarantors to Pay UK, putting the strategy in place for future payments, including central bank money as well, but creating an ecosystem around what's the potential of money and what we could do with it. And that's my interest. We're shaping the system.
We had to get it out of this experimental mode. And I guess the first stage for that was to really establish and found the ISO standard for blockchain. So this is TC 307. So I did that in 2015. And the idea behind that was to create a way where we can have a mass collaboration to work on the technology at an international level. And that's what's happened. So now we've got 53 countries working together to standardize blockchain across the world. And that includes organizations, startups, government, enterprise, academia, everyone. And so we set out to then bring it up into the mainstream. By standardizing the technology, we then built the platform. And so working on the ISO standards, we then built Overledger following that. And the whole idea is to bring the mass adoption of blockchain. This is good for us to look at it now that they see the potential, and they're all in.
So if that doesn't bring hairs to the neck, I don't know what will. Now, I get this question a lot. Now, people always ask me, are institutions buying Quant? My answer generally is who knows? We don't know, but there are signs. There are lots and lots of signs. And obviously being on chain a lot, looking at projects, seeing what's going on, seeing these moves, seeing they're connected to and what these companies do. And often you'll find with new projects, you can see little inklings of slow progress that give us a sign, a signal, a pointer to where it's going. Now, This is something I did a while back, but it is still really, really poignant today. Now, I say here, who knows? We see lots of transactions, but who can say what's behind them? Lockups. But what if these players aren't just holding Quant directly? What if these companies actually own the companies instead? Now, I've highlighted Elwood here. Elwood Technologies, a custodian, absolutely huge. So if we take Elwood Technologies, they're a custodian of 386,000 quant. That is absolutely massive. And you're talking, millions and millions in dollars value. And this stash could belong to institutions or might be partly their own. Either way, someone's serious about quant. But who owns Elwood? And the answer, look at this. This is absolutely huge. So during Elwood's funding rounds, these heavy hitters showed up. So we got Goldman Sachs, Dawn Capital, Barclays, Block 5 Ventures, Chimera Ventures, Commerce Ventures, Digital Currency Group, Flow Traders, Galaxy Digital Ventures. And we can see some massive names in there. And these investors joined in a $70 million Series A round in May 2022. But it doesn't stop there. We got Zodia Markets recently acquired Elwood's OTC trading business. So Elwood Capital Management Limited. So who's behind then Zodia Markets? So Zodia Markets is majority owned by Standard Chartered. And they formed in 2021. Zodia Markets is mostly a Standard Chartered creation with a minority stake held by BC Technology Group, parent of OSL. And when we move down even further, let's go deeper. Who owns Standard Chartered? It's a public company. The largest shareholder is Temasek Holdings, holding 17%. Now, we've got other institutions. BlackRock is also in there as well, which is huge. And who owns Temasek Holdings? It's fully owned, right, by the government of Singapore and through the Singapore Minister of Finance. It's not a government agency, it operates as a commercial investment powerhouse. Now, that's huge. So we started with Elwood Technologies and ended up with the government of Singapore. Big institutions might not directly hold tokens, but they own the companies that do. And this is one example of how deep the digital asset web runs. Now, this is the same with going on chain. You can see certain things before they happen. And if you delve into those companies, you can see links. You can see a whole big spider's web. So they don't necessarily have to hold the token to be invested in it because they're invested in the tokens that the companies already own, which is absolutely massive. And I believe this is the adoption. This is what we're seeing. And this, in my opinion, not financial advice, will be the road to $10,000 quant. I don't know when, but that, for me personally, is how we see that. And that adoption comes from behind the scenes, behind the veil. And that there is really, really interesting. And that's what I do. I look behind the veil and see what's going on, see what's happening, who owns what, where it's going, big companies connecting to other companies. And for me, quant is a absolute sleeper. Absolutely. And as you heard Gilbert Verdian saying there, they built the standard first before they even attempted to create Overledger. What does that tell you? Absolute foresight. And Gilbert, in my opinion, is an absolute genius, pure architectural genius. Now, a lot of people moaning about the price. It's not moving, it's stagnant. A lot of people selling because they're getting bored. But if you knew what was actually going on, if you did your research, the hold is easy, in my opinion. Not financial advice again. The hold for me is very, very easy because he was saying it for a very, very long time. And I say here, Gilbert throwing some A game. We're connected to all of them. They're already using it. Digital asset interoperability at scale. Wall Street, they're all in. So let's listen to
We're
this.
connected to all of them, so we don't have to go to 800 banks and institutions and trading houses and go, can you connect to us? Can you use us? Can you use us? They already use it. What we're doing is we're allowing digital asset interoperability at scale. For the first time, you can actually move stuff between 800 institutions.
What does it mean to have that first mover advantage?
We're the infrastructure to enable this to happen. Our technology will be running if you think about it, Wall Street. It'll be running how institutions trade. It'll be running how people do settlements and stuff across networks, and how you can move a JP Morgan coin with a Wells Fargo coin. I mean, we can make that happen.
There you go. He says it just there. It's obvious. Now, you wouldn't be able to say stuff like that if it wasn't true. But yet, people just don't believe it, do they? He said they're all in. And this was quite some time ago as well. I think I dropped this video out here in 2023. So, you know, for me, yes, the token can be deemed as boring, whatever you want to call it. But for me, this is a hold that, for me, it will be sensational. So there you go, guys. Real upbeat stuff there. All the best. And I'll catch you later.